Everyone carries an old story in their heart. Maybe you've tucked it away in a quiet corner of your memory, sometimes trying to forget. Sometimes finding yourself leafing through its pages when the night grows deep and silent. We often fear looking back, afraid that old wounds might still bleed. We fear touching what once hurt us. The shadows of those who left, the mistakes we punished ourselves for over and over again. But do you know this? One day you'll see. There's nothing you really need to forget, there's only something you need to understand. Tonight, in this gentle moment of stillness, let your breath slow down. Sit down, or lie down. And allow your body to rest like a leaf drifting on a calm lake. Imagine your old story as a worn book waiting to be opened, not to judge, not to blame, but simply to be seen in the light of compassion and wisdom. Anything that once caused you pain is really longing to be heard. Memories keep knocking because they've never truly been touched by your tenderness. So often, we try to deal with pain by pushing it away, covering it with layers of dust. But the more dust you pile on, the more the hurt festers underneath. When you finally sit down with it, touch it, hold it as part of you, that's when it begins to loosen its grip. Let that story come back into your mind now. Maybe it's a childhood memory, a goodbye, a careless word, a decision you regret. Don't rush to judge it. Just look at it. Imagine you're holding a small lamp in your hands, shining light into every hidden corner. That light is love, that light is understanding. It doesn't demand that you punish yourself or drown in sorrow, it helps you see that every moment of pain has carried a lesson, planting seeds of awakening even through the hardest times. If you've ever blamed someone, try seeing them as a child who was hurting too. If you've blamed yourself, try seeing your younger self as a lost child doing the best they could with what little they knew. No one is born knowing how to love perfectly. No one is fully wise in the darkness of their own wounds. And neither were you. Instead of demanding that you or others be flawless, can you accept that it was what it was? So you could become who you are now. Compassion is not just about forgiving others, it's about offering gentle understanding to yourself. Wisdom is not just about knowing others, it's about seeing clearly into your own patterns, the ignorance that made you repeat your suffering. Only when you see clearly does pain lose its power. Only when you love it does every broken piece become a seed for your healing. You can cry if you want to. Your tears tonight aren't weakness or punishment. They're a stream washing over the soil of your soul, carrying away the old dust, leaving space for new sprouts. Or you may smile, seeing that even in your old story, there were hidden moments of beauty you'd forgotten, a glance, a hand held, a simple hello. All of these deserve to be held gently, as small treasures of the path you've walked. Tonight, you don't need to do anything big. Just sit down, close your eyes, and whisper to yourself, I have been hurt, but I no longer run. I have been afraid, but I no longer hide. I have been lost, but I am finding my way home. And little by little, with every breath, you'll see that old story becoming lighter. It won't weigh you down like before. It will simply be a part of your road. A sign of how far you've come, how deeply you've learned to love, and how gently you're learning to hold yourself. If it's hard to hold yourself right now, imagine someone sitting beside you. Resting a warm hand on your shoulder, saying nothing, just being there. Maybe it's the presence of a teacher, a friend, someone you've never met, or simply the wiser. Kinder part of you that has always been there, growing quietly through your old wounds. Everyone carries an old story in their heart. And if you're gentle enough, you'll see. That story does not bind you, does not make you small, it reminds you that you were brave enough to live, to love, to stumble, and to rise again. When you understand this, you'll stop fearing the dark. Because in the dark, you'll find the light of compassion and wisdom, the light that has always lived in your own heart. And only that light can truly lead you home. Tonight, just breathe and listen. A new day will come. And your heart will be lighter. Find a position that feels truly comfortable for you. There's no need to sit too rigidly or force yourself into any perfect shape. Just choose a quiet spot where you can sit or lie down, somewhere your body can soften, like a leaf gently floating along a calm stream. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Or let them rest half open, allowing a soft light to filter through without disturbing the quiet space inside you. Let your shoulders drop, let your arms grow heavy. Your hands resting loosely on your lap or beside you. Soften your face, your forehead, your eyes, your lips. Let your breath move naturally, no need to control it or force it. Each breath is a small bridge that brings you back to this moment. Each exhale carries away tension, stiffness, worries still lingering in your mind. Each inhale brings in fresh air, calm. A gentle reminder that you can come home to yourself, right here and now. Sometimes we forget that our bodies need true rest. We rush, we strain, we run on empty. Even when we lie down, our minds still race with unfinished tasks, old memories, tomorrow's plans. But now, give yourself permission to pause. There is nothing to hurry for. There is nothing more important than you being here, breathing, loosening, and quietly listening to yourself. If your thoughts keep moving, let them be. You don't have to push them away. Thoughts come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. You are the sky, vast, open, spacious enough to hold it all without getting tangled up in any of it. Feel your feet touching the ground. Feel the surface beneath your back if you're lying down. Feel your breath at the tip of your nose, flowing through your throat, filling your chest, and then melting away softly. Scan your body gently. Where is there tightness? Where does resistance linger? Don't force it to relax. Just send it a quiet message, it's okay now. You're safe here. You might notice your shoulders have been tensed without you realizing it. You might feel your belly still clenched around silent worries. Exhale, maybe just a bit longer, and let your shoulders drop. Your belly soften. You don't have to do anything right now. Just be here, breathing with yourself. Any sound around you, distant voices, a creak in the floor, a car passing by, doesn't matter. It's all part of this moment. You are safe in this small world where your body and mind can rest, restore, and renew themselves. If you feel your heart sinking a little, let it sink. If tears come, let them come. It's all welcome here. You don't have to hold yourself together. You don't have to hide your soft places. Everything belongs to this gentle flow that is carrying you back to yourself. Feel your heartbeat. Each beat reminds you that you're alive, still breathing, still free to begin again at any moment. You're not confined by what happened before. You're not trapped by what hasn't happened yet. All that exists is now, in one breath. In this moment you've given yourself permission to truly relax. Picture your body like a river. All the tightness, blockages, and old burdens melt into the current and drift away. What remains is lightness, stillness, and you, breathing, alive, quietly returning home. You don't have to become someone else. You don't have to please anyone. You don't have to prove anything. Right now, simply breathing and letting go is enough. Maybe when you open your eyes again, you'll return to your tasks, your family, your everyday life. But somewhere inside you, this calm will remain, like a small seed, growing quietly, reminding you that peace was never far away. It starts the moment you pause, listen, and allow yourself to truly rest. Take one more slow breath now. Once more, thank your body, for carrying you, for enduring, for standing by you through every twist and turn. Thank your heart, for patiently beating, keeping you alive, reminding you that everything will be okay. Just listen. Just loosen. Tonight, or whenever the world feels too heavy, come back to this breath. And trust, there is always a safe place for you to return to. It's right here, within you, a home no one can ever take away. A limiting belief is a thought that repeats itself so often that it makes us shrink inside our own lives. Limiting beliefs are quiet and persistent. They rarely shout at us outright. Instead, they whisper the same lines over and over until we begin to accept them as truth. They might have started as someone else's words, a parent's warning, a teacher's criticism, a friend's careless remark. Or they might have taken shape in a moment when you were hurt, rejected, or misunderstood. From there, they nestle into the corners of your mind, repeating themselves until they feel like facts about who you are and what you're allowed to become. At their heart, limiting beliefs are survival strategies. They try to protect us from disappointment, embarrassment, failure, or rejection. Don't try that, you'll fail. You're not good enough. People like you don't succeed. It's too late to change. These thoughts sound like walls, but they're really fences we build to feel safe from the unknown. The cost of that safety, though, is freedom, and life shrinks when we let fear fence us in. A limiting belief can be so subtle that you don't even notice you're carrying it. It shows up in the excuses you repeat to yourself. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm too shy. I'm too old. I don't have what it takes. It shows up in the dreams you keep putting off, the opportunities you quietly turn down, the potential you feel inside but never dare to touch. One of the greatest tricks of a limiting belief is convincing you that it's reality. It feels like a fact, solid, proven, non-negotiable. But when you stop and look closer, you realize it's just a thought, one that you've practiced believing for so long that it feels like the truth. It's not. A belief is not a law of nature. It's not a stone wall you can't pass. It's a story you can choose to rewrite. What makes limiting beliefs so powerful is that they feed on repetition. The more you repeat them, through your thoughts, your words, your actions, the deeper they root themselves into your identity. Over time, they don't just influence what you do, they shape who you think you are. They tell you your worth is conditional. They tell you you're not enough as you are. They tell you it's better not to risk, not to dream, not to reach too far. But here's the quiet truth, you were not born with these beliefs. Watch any child and you'll see it. Children don't wonder if they're worthy of joy, of love, of trying something new. They don't question whether they should sing loudly or dance freely or draw with wild colors. The limitations come later. When the world starts handing them rules, spoken or unspoken, about what is too much or not enough. As we grow up, we carry these hidden instructions like secret contracts we never signed. We forget that they are not our essence. They're just thoughts, learned, absorbed, repeated, and anything learned can be unlearned. It doesn't mean you can snap your fingers and erase a belief overnight. Some of these thoughts are woven so tightly into your habits and your self-image that they feel like parts of you. But when you bring awareness to them, when you name them, question them, and see them for what they are, they begin to loosen their hold. You start to notice, who told me this? Is it really true? What if it's not? What might be possible if I believed something different? These small questions plant seeds of freedom. Each time you choose to replace an old, tired thought with a new, empowering one, you open a crack in the walls that once boxed you in. The journey of unlearning limiting beliefs is not about forcing yourself to be positive all the time. It's about becoming honest with yourself. It's about being gentle with your fear while refusing to let fear make every decision. It's about giving yourself permission to grow beyond who you thought you were allowed to be. Some beliefs might stay for a while, like stubborn guests that overstay their welcome. That's okay. You don't have to chase them out with force. You only have to stop feeding them. Every time you act in spite of them, every time you speak up, try again, learn something new. Or stand tall in your worth, you weaken the old stories and strengthen the part of you that wants to expand. You don't have to become someone else. You don't have to wake up tomorrow magically free of doubt. You just have to notice the small voice that says, I can't, I shouldn't, I'm not enough, and answer it with curiosity, kindness, and the quiet courage to say, maybe I can. Maybe I am. Maybe there's more for me than this small, safe box. The truth is, your life wants to grow bigger than your fears. The same mind that once repeated limiting beliefs can learn to repeat new ones. I am capable. I am allowed. I can change. I am enough. Over time, these new thoughts carve out new pathways in your brain, new possibilities in your life, and a new story about who you are and what you can become. A limiting belief is just that, a belief. Not your destiny. Not your truth. Not your limit. The only real limits are the ones you choose to keep alive. When you see them for what they are, you can choose something better, a bigger story. A wider path, a freer life. And with every small act of courage, you remind yourself that you were never meant to shrink, you were always meant to grow. Origins of limiting beliefs. Each of us carries within us beliefs about ourselves, about others, and about the world. Some of these beliefs empower us, giving us courage, hope, and strength to move forward. But there are also beliefs that quietly fence us in, like invisible threads tying down our wings, preventing us from living fully and stepping into our true potential. To understand why we keep shrinking ourselves, we need to look back at where these beliefs come from. 1. Childhood, the cradle where beliefs are born. Childhood is like a blank sheet of paper. Every word spoken, every look, every gesture from parents, teachers, or anyone around us leaves a mark on that paper. A child doesn't know how to separate truth from someone's opinion. They simply trust what they hear. A passing remark like, "You're so clumsy, stop dreaming, that's unrealistic." Or, "People like us don't do things like that," repeated enough times, will sink deep and settle as truth in that young, impressionable mind. A child who hears these words over and over will slowly believe they really are incapable, that they truly don't deserve to dream big. A few moments of being scolded for mistakes teach a child that failure is shameful. A few careless comparisons to siblings or classmates plant the belief that they are never good enough. And these tiny seeds, over the years, grow into invisible barriers. Even when parents no longer say these things, the child within us remembers, still afraid every time we want to step out of our safe corner. 2. Old wounds, unhealed scars that linger. It's not just childhood. Painful experiences later in life can plant new limiting beliefs, too. One betrayal can make you believe, everyone will eventually leave me. One big failure can convince you, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't even try. One moment when you spoke your truth and were ignored can teach you, my voice doesn't matter. These old wounds take root quietly. At first, you think they're just memories from the past. But if they aren't seen and healed, they become walls that hold you back. Whenever you're about to try something new, love again, start a dream project, speak up for what you believe in, those old memories surface and whisper, be careful. Don't be foolish again. So you hesitate. You play small. You close the door on your own potential. 3. Social conditioning, the invisible suit everyone wears. Beyond family and personal wounds, another powerful source of limiting beliefs is the weight of social norms and unspoken rules. These come disguised as harmless phrases passed down through generations. Girls shouldn't aim too high. Real men don't show weakness. Poor people shouldn't dream too big. It's better not to stand out too much. These ideas become invisible codes of conduct that shape how we behave and what we dare to want. They seep into schools, workplaces, even family dinners. Many people hold beautiful gifts, bold ideas, or burning dreams for change, yet bury them because they fear being different, fear being mocked, fear being isolated. We're afraid to go against the crowd. We're afraid of judgmental looks. We fear that our success might make others uncomfortable. So we quietly shrink ourselves to fit the mold society laid out for us long ago. Understanding is the beginning of freedom. The good news is that no limiting belief is permanent, if you're willing to trace it back to its roots. When you realize that the harsh words from the past were just someone's opinion, not an unchanging truth, things begin to loosen. When you see that old wounds are only past experiences and no longer have the right to control you now, something inside you softens. When you ask, why must I live by the rules of the crowd? You begin to unfasten the chains you've worn for so long. Sometimes, all it takes is one moment of clear seeing, I've believed this for so long, but it's not true anymore. And a new door cracks open. Limiting beliefs grow strong through repetition, but they weaken the moment you choose to replace them with something new. Every time you do what you once thought you couldn't, you prove to yourself that the wall was never real, it was only in your mind. You can't change your childhood. You can't erase every wound you've ever carried. You can't wipe out all of society's biases overnight. But you can start from within, notice the thoughts that keep you small, trace them to where they began, and gently choose to lay them down. Sometimes, all it takes is one person who dares to shed an old mold and live fully as they really are, to show others it's possible. And maybe, when you stand taller, step beyond your old safety zone. And drop the invisible suit society put on you, you're not just freeing yourself, you're quietly giving someone else permission to do the same. This journey isn't easy. But it's worth every moment. Because on the other side of your limiting beliefs is a version of you that is bigger, braver, and freer, waiting for you to come home. Sometimes, a limiting belief doesn't show up as a grand idea or a complicated philosophy. It often hides in the simplest, most ordinary sentences you repeat to yourself every single day, quiet lines that blend into your thoughts so easily that you rarely stop to notice how powerful they really are. You might have heard this whisper inside you, I'm not good enough. Maybe it comes up when you're about to take on a new project, say yes to a promotion, or step into a challenge you've dreamed about for years. Instead of feeling excited, a small voice in your mind repeats, you don't really have what it takes. You'll mess it up. Other people are better than you. Or maybe the belief runs even deeper, touching your sense of self-worth. I don't deserve to be loved. This might echo through you when a relationship ends. Instead of seeing that sometimes people simply grow apart or carry wounds of their own, you blame yourself, it must be me. There's something wrong with me. I'm just not enough for someone to stay. These thoughts may sound small, but they are like seeds of self-doubt planted deep in your subconscious. Over time, they take root and grow strong through repetition. They shape your choices, steer your behavior, and quietly convince you to settle for less than what you truly want. The impact of limiting beliefs. Keycap 1. Loss of confidence. When you believe you're not good enough or not worthy of love, you start rejecting your own opportunities before the world even has a chance to. You hold back when you could step forward. You turn away from open doors because you tell yourself, someone like me could never. Over time, this eats away at your confidence, not just in your work or relationships but in how you see your own worth. You begin to feel that you don't deserve to dream bigger, speak up, or claim a place where you truly belong. Keycap 2. Prolonged suffering. A limiting belief doesn't just hold you back from new possibilities, it can make old pain linger far longer than it needs to. Someone who quietly carries the thought, I don't deserve love, often stays in unhealthy relationships or keeps attracting painful patterns, because deep down they believe, this is all I'm worth. The same pain repeats in cycles, like a wound that never gets a chance to heal because you keep reopening it with the same hidden story. Keycap 3. Stuck in old loops. Limiting beliefs are like subtle traps. Every time you try to grow or break out of your comfort zone, they pull you back to the same safe but suffocating place. You dream of changing jobs but talk yourself out of it. You want to find a healthy relationship but keep choosing what feels familiar, even if it hurts, because your old belief tells you that's all you can have. You promise yourself you'll change. But the fear underneath, fed by that hidden belief, keeps you frozen in the same old pattern. This cycle can only break when you pause and bravely turn inward to ask, deep down, what do I really believe about myself? This question sounds simple, but it can shake loose the very roots of what you've long accepted as, just the way I am. You might discover that beneath, I'm not good enough, is an old memory of harsh criticism. Beneath, I don't deserve to be loved, is the echo of a moment when you were left behind and never really healed from it. When you see the belief clearly, stay with it. Don't rush to bury it with forced positivity or fake affirmations. Touch it. Understand how it was born, how long it's been living inside you. And then gently ask, is this really, absolutely true? Who gave me this idea? Did I ever agree to keep carrying it? What might open up if I stopped believing this story? What would be possible if I believed something kinder, bigger, freer? You don't have to change everything overnight. Just begin with awareness. Each time you hear that voice say, I'm not good enough, whisper back, that's just an old thought. It's not who I am. Each time you feel, I don't deserve it, ask yourself, says who? Is that really true right now? These small moments of honest self-inquiry are cracks in the old walls. With each crack, light gets in. And with each tiny, brave action that goes against the old belief, speaking up, saying yes, trying again, you prove to yourself that the story was never the whole truth. You are not alone in this. You don't have to fake endless positivity. Real change comes when you get curious about what's inside you, when you see the thought for what it is, a habit, not a fact. So come back to this question whenever you feel yourself shrinking again. Deep down, what do I believe about myself? And let the answer, even if it stings, be the seed of something new. Because once you see it clearly, you hold the power to choose differently, to build beliefs that lift you up instead of holding you back. The Four Noble Truths. Dukkha, Samuddaya, Nirodha, Magga. In Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths are not just ideas to memorize but living insights that reveal the very nature of our suffering and the way out of it. They form the foundation of the Buddha's teachings, pointing directly to the reality we live in, the reasons we struggle, the freedom that's possible, and the clear path that leads us there. The first noble truth, dukkha. The first noble truth is often translated simply as suffering, but the word dukkha goes deeper than pain alone. It is the subtle, constant unease that runs through ordinary life, this sense that even when life is good, it never feels fully secure, lasting, or enough. Dukkha includes obvious pain like illness, loss, disappointment, and death, but it also includes the silent dissatisfaction that nothing stays as we want it to. We love, we win, we achieve, and yet things change, fade, or slip from our grasp. The second noble truth, samuddaya. The second noble truth explains the origin of suffering. According to the Buddha, suffering has causes. It doesn't simply appear by chance, it grows out of specific roots that can be clearly seen if we look honestly at our own minds. These roots are threefold: ignorance, craving, and clinging to a fixed self. Ignorance, avijja. Ignorance here means not seeing things as they truly are. We don't understand that all things are impermanent. We don't see that everything we call me or mine is constantly changing, our thoughts, our feelings, our bodies, even our deepest beliefs. Because we do not see this clearly, we live as if life should always bend to our wishes. We try to make what is changing stay still and secure. Craving, tanha. Out of ignorance grows craving. Craving is the thirst that drives us to want, chase, and cling. We crave pleasant experiences. We crave to become something we're not yet. We crave to get rid of what we dislike. This constant wanting creates restlessness in our hearts, a hunger that is never fully satisfied. Even when we get what we want, new cravings appear. Craving is like an endless fire that needs more fuel. Clinging to self, upadana. At the root of craving is the illusion that there is a solid, separate self we must defend and satisfy. We cling to ideas of who we think we are, our name, our status, our past, our identity. We cling to possessions, relationships, roles. We defend this I fiercely. But the I is not fixed, it shifts moment by moment. When we cling to something so unstable, fear and disappointment naturally follow. Because we do not see the truth of change, we keep chasing, clinging, and grasping. And this is the cycle that gives birth to dukkha over and over again. The third noble truth, nirodha. The third noble truth is the truth that suffering can end. This is the Buddha's most powerful revelation. Dukkha is not a life sentence. It is a condition that arises and passes away depending on causes. If the causes end, so does suffering. When ignorance is transformed into wisdom, when craving is seen through and not blindly obeyed, when clinging softens, the fire that fuels our pain gradually goes out. This ending is nirvana, not a place in the clouds but a state of mind free from the pull of craving and the illusion of a fixed self. In nirvana, there is deep peace, unshaken by gain or loss, praise or blame. It is freedom right in the heart of what we once called suffering. The fourth noble truth, magga. The fourth noble truth is the path that leads to the end of suffering, the Noble Eightfold Path. This is not a mystical escape but a practical training, a way to live with wisdom, ethical action, and mindful awareness. The Eightfold Path includes right understanding, seeing clearly the nature of reality. Right thought, cultivating thoughts of kindness, non-harm, and letting go. Right speech, speaking truthfully, kindly, and helpfully. Right action, acting with integrity and non-harm. Right livelihood, earning a living in ways that do not exploit or harm. Right effort, developing wholesome qualities and abandoning harmful ones. Right mindfulness, being fully present with body, feelings, mind, and reality as it is. Right concentration, training the mind to be steady, clear, and deeply focused. Together, these 8 parts guide us to live in a way that naturally reduces suffering and reveals our true nature, awake, compassionate, and free. Suffering begins with not seeing. When we do not see the truth of change and non-self, we build our lives on illusions. This illusion fuels our craving, trying to hold on, push away, or control what cannot be controlled. From this craving comes suffering again and again. But the moment we turn inward with gentle awareness, we begin to break the cycle. We see craving arise and choose not to feed it. We see the self-image shift and stop clinging to it as unchanging. We look at our fear and discover it softens when met with understanding. The Four Noble Truths are not about escaping life, they are about meeting life fully, with eyes open. They invite us to investigate our own suffering, not to judge or deny it, but to see its roots and know we have the power to let them go. We do not conquer suffering by fighting it or pretending it does not exist. We transform it by understanding it, step by step, moment by moment. To live the Four Noble Truths is to remember. Suffering exists. It has causes. It can end. There is a clear path. When we walk this path, we discover that freedom is not far away, it has always been waiting in the quiet space beneath craving and fear, ready to open whenever we dare to see clearly and live with compassion for ourselves and all beings. In Buddhism, the 3 marks of existence, anicca, impermanence, anatta, non-self, and dukkha, suffering or unsatisfactoriness, are not abstract ideas meant only for monks and philosophers. They are clear, direct ways of looking at life as it actually is, right here and now. They invite us to see reality without illusions, so that we can understand why we suffer and how freedom becomes possible when we let go of our tight grip on things that can never stay the same. Anicca, impermanence, everything changes. Everything that arises will pass away. This is not a gloomy sentence, but a fact woven into the fabric of reality. Mountains crumble over centuries. Trees sprout, grow, and return to the soil. Our bodies age day by day. Relationships blossom and fade. Thoughts come and go like clouds drifting across the sky. Feelings surge and dissolve. no matter how powerful they seem in the moment. Yet even though change is constant, we resist it fiercely. We want our health to remain, our loved ones to stay forever, our successes to last unchanged. We cling to youth, beauty, wealth, status, and certainty, pretending we can hold back the flow of time. But life never cooperates with that illusion. So when the inevitable happens, when loss comes, when change sweeps through, we feel shock, grief, anger, or despair. Seeing impermanence clearly does not make us cold or detached, it makes us wise. It softens our grip on what we know cannot stay. It reminds us to cherish what we have while it's here. It teaches us to open our hands gracefully when it's time to let go. Anatta, non-self. No fixed I. The second mark, anatta, invites us to look closely at what we call self. Buddhism teaches that this I, the voice in our head saying mine, me, my, is not a single solid thing, but a flowing process. Our bodies are always changing. Our thoughts shift. Our beliefs evolve. Even our personalities and opinions can change from year to year, moment to moment. Yet we spend our lives defending and protecting this idea of me. We take praise and criticism so personally because we think there is a fixed self being threatened or glorified. But when we look deeper, we see that self is more like a dance of conditions, sensations, memories, habits, thoughts, feelings. It arises and passes away just like everything else. Understanding anatta does not mean we lose our uniqueness or become indifferent robots. It means we stop holding so tightly to an identity that causes so much fear and conflict. If there is no fixed I to defend, who is left to feel insulted, diminished, or superior? Who is left to cling desperately to control? Seeing the non-self frees us to live with more ease, humility, and compassion toward ourselves and everyone else who, like us, is changing all the time. Dukkha, unsatisfactoriness, clinging brings suffering. The third mark, dukkha, reminds us that life, as long as we cling and crave, will always feel just a bit out of balance. Dukkha is more than obvious pain, illness, loss, conflict. It is also the subtle dissatisfaction that runs through everyday experience. Even when we get what we want, a quiet tension remains. Will I lose this? What if this isn't enough? What if something goes wrong? Dukkha comes not because life is cruel, but because we expect permanence and control where there is none. We attach to people, things, and ideas as if they could give us lasting security. But when they inevitably shift or vanish, we suffer. The Buddha pointed out that the root of this unsatisfactoriness is our tendency to cling, clinging to pleasure, clinging to identity, clinging to how things should be. When we see this clearly, we can begin to loosen our grip. This does not mean we stop loving or caring. It means we love with open hands. Knowing that holding tighter does not prevent loss, it only deepens our pain when change arrives. Bringing the three marks into daily life. The three marks of existence are not meant to stay on a page or a statue in a temple. They are tools for living and waking up every day. When you notice something beautiful, a blooming flower, a kind moment with someone you love, remember impermanence, and you will cherish it more deeply. When you feel anger or pride rising in defense of your self, pause and look at this sense of I. Where is it, exactly? Can you find it? Or do you find only thoughts, sensations, and stories? When you feel tightness, stress, or longing for things to be different, ask yourself, what am I clinging to right now? What am I afraid to lose? What would happen if I softened my grip? Even just a little. Bit by bit, these simple insights chip away at the illusions that bind us. We see more clearly that change is not the enemy, it is life's constant gift and teacher. We understand that the self is not a prison but a fluid, open field of possibility. And we realize that suffering is not punishment, it is a signal pointing us back to where we're holding on too tightly. Freedom through seeing clearly. When we truly live with the three marks in our awareness, we are not crushed by impermanence, we are liberated by it. We are not made empty by the lack of a fixed self, we are free to respond flexibly, wisely, and kindly. We are not trapped by suffering, we learn to transform it by releasing our blind grasping. Impermanence. Non-self. Unsatisfactoriness. Three simple truths that, once seen deeply, can open the heart and loosen the mind's endless struggle. They remind us that the freedom we seek does not come from changing the world to fit our desires, but from changing how we see the world, and how gently we hold it all. The Zen Master and the Empty Cup, a lesson in letting go to truly learn. There is an old Zen story about a young student who traveled far to meet a famous Zen master, hoping to learn the secrets of enlightenment. Along the way, the student kept repeating to himself, "I've read so many sutras, I've listened to countless teachings. I have my own understanding too, I just need the master to confirm it." When he finally sat before the Zen master, the student immediately launched into a long speech. He proudly explained everything he had read, every teacher he had studied with, and all the conclusions he had drawn by himself. The master sat quietly, listening without interrupting. After a while, the master invited the student to have tea. He placed 2 cups on the table and began to pour tea into the student's cup. The cup filled to the brim, but the master kept pouring. Tea overflowed the rim, spilled onto the table, and dripped onto the student's robe. Startled, the student cried out, "Master, the cup is full. Why do you keep pouring?" The master gently put down the teapot and looked calmly into the student's eyes. "Just like this cup, your mind is full of your own ideas, opinions, and conclusions. How can I pour any wisdom into a cup that is already full?" The student fell silent. In that moment, the weight of his pride and certainty cracked open. He bowed deeply for the first time, realizing that before he could learn anything truly new, he had to empty himself of what he thought he already knew. The empty cup, a symbol of an open mind. This story of the empty cup is a timeless symbol in Zen and many other spiritual paths. It reminds us that knowledge itself is not the problem, clinging to knowledge is. The more we fill our heads with, "I already know this," the less space there is for new insights to take root and grow. An empty cup is not a sign of ignorance or weakness. It is a symbol of humility, curiosity, and the courage to keep learning. An empty cup represents the beginner's mind, fresh, open, unburdened by rigid opinions. It stays clear and receptive, just like a child seeing the world with wonder for the first time. Carrying a full cup through life. Most of us carry a full cup everywhere we go. When someone offers advice, we instantly compare it to what we believe. "This doesn't match what I know. I've heard better." When we hear a new idea, we jump to defend our old views. "That's not how I see it. That can't be right." When we meet others, we filter them through our judgments. People like this are always like that. These invisible certainties act like a lid on the cup, no new tea can enter. We think we are learning, but in reality, we're only collecting ideas that fit what we already believe, rejecting anything that challenges our comfortable patterns. Letting go to make space. Letting go does not mean throwing away everything we know or rejecting our experience. Letting go means not clinging to our knowledge so tightly that we become closed off to growth. Our ideas and learning are like a raft that helps us cross a river, but once we've crossed, do we need to carry it on our shoulders forever? An empty cup doesn't fear the unknown. It doesn't resist. It doesn't cling. It stays ready to receive and ready to be emptied again when it's time. It flows with life instead of fighting it. Practicing the empty cup every day. When you hear something you disagree with, pause before you argue. Stay curious. What is this really saying? What can I learn from it? When you face something that challenges your comfort zone, don't rush to judge right or wrong. Ask, if I let go of what I think I know, what is this moment teaching me? When reading or listening, don't just look for ideas that confirm what you believe. Let yourself be surprised. Let yourself be wrong. Let yourself grow. When you meditate, watch your thoughts, even the ones that say, "I already know this." Let them pass like clouds across an open sky. An empty cup, an open life. When your cup is empty, every moment can fill you with something new. Every person you meet, every experience you go through, every challenge you face becomes a teacher pouring wisdom into you. The only question is whether you have room to receive it. In the search for peace and understanding, the greatest strength is not piling up more and more knowledge, but having the courage to set down what no longer serves you. A truly empty cup is ready for the fresh tea of this moment, ready to taste life fully, with no lid, no walls, and no need to cling to yesterday's stories. When your mind is open, you can hold the sweet aroma of new tea, the warmth of good company, and even the deep silence that no words can ever pour, the true taste of wisdom, which Zen invites us all to drink for ourselves. The Soldier and the Burden of Regret, a story of transformation. There is another story in Zen that speaks deeply to the part of us that carries guilt and shame, the part that whispers, "What I did can never be forgiven. Who I was will haunt me forever." It is the story of a soldier and the silent weight he bore on his back long after the battlefield was gone. Long ago, a battle-hardened soldier wandered the land, haunted by memories of war. He had taken lives, not just enemies, but innocents caught in chaos. At the time, he believed he was following orders, doing what needed to be done. But as the years passed, the faces of those he killed would visit him at night. He heard their cries in dreams and felt their blood on his hands each morning. The war had ended, but inside him, it never did. He could not forgive himself. He believed he was beyond redemption, destined to carry the label, murderer, until his last breath. Desperate for relief, he traveled to find a Zen master known for his wisdom and compassion. When he found the old teacher sitting quietly beneath a tree, the soldier fell to his knees and confessed everything, every life he had taken, every moment he had felt his heart harden to survive. His voice broke as he asked, "Is there any hope for someone like me? Or must I live forever cursed by my past?" The Zen master looked at him with eyes calm as a still pond. He picked up a stick and drew a line in the dirt. "Is this line permanent?" he asked. Confused, the soldier shook his head. "No, master. The wind can blow it away. The rain can wash it away. Or you can erase it yourself." The master nodded. With a single sweep of his hand, he erased the line. "Like this line," the master said gently, "the past does not define you. Who you were is not who you are. Each moment is fresh, like the earth after rain, like a sky after clouds pass. The only thing that is real is this moment, right here. If you truly see this, you will know that you, too, can begin again." Tears fell down the soldier's face. For the first time in years, he felt the faint warmth of hope. The past does not own you. This story reminds us of a truth that is easy to hear but hard to accept: no one is forever trapped in who they once were. No action, however dark, can chain a person's heart forever if they have the courage to face it honestly and open themselves to change. Yes, the past leaves traces. It teaches us through consequences. It humbles us with regret. But it is not the same as who we are in this living, breathing moment. The Buddha taught that nothing is fixed, not our thoughts, not our habits, not even our deepest mistakes. We are like a river, always flowing. If we cling to the belief that, "I am my sin," we freeze the river. We refuse the truth that life moves, renews, transforms, if we allow it. Forgiveness begins with seeing clearly. True redemption is not about forgetting or pretending the past didn't happen. It is about turning toward it with honesty, not to punish ourselves again and again, but to understand deeply, I was lost. I was blind. I was afraid. I caused harm. From this place of clear seeing, Compassion can grow. Compassion for the ones we hurt, and compassion for the part of ourselves that did not know better, that acted out of fear or ignorance. We can't change what was done, but we can change how we live now. Every moment is a gate. When the Zen master said, "Only this moment is real," he did not mean that the past has no lessons, but that it does not have to be a prison. The gate to freedom is always the present. Here, now, you can choose a different action, a kinder word, a more awake mind. Some people spend decades punishing themselves for who they once were. Believing guilt is the same as atonement. But guilt that never transforms is just another form of self-clinging. It keeps us stuck. True atonement is living differently, choosing compassion, service, understanding, and letting our daily actions become an offering to life. No one is beyond transformation. This story of the soldier shows us that the darkest past can be the ground for the deepest awakening, if we dare to see it for what it was and who we are now. You are not the worst thing you have done. You are not your old mistakes. You are not frozen in the identity your mind repeats at night. You are a living, changing being, capable of redemption each time you breathe with awareness. The line in the dirt can be drawn. The line in the dirt can be erased. Again and again. The past may visit, but the present is your true home. Here is where healing begins. Here is where forgiveness happens, not from forgetting, but from understanding. So when regret arises, remember the Zen master's teaching. Who you were is not who you are. Only this moment is true. Begin again. Contemplation, the doorway back to healing. At the end of every Zen story, there is an invitation, pause. Not to nod and forget, but to turn the story inward like a mirror. Zen stories aren't just old tales for someone else's past, they are alive right now, calling us to look gently but honestly at the parts of ourselves we often hide away. The question, contemplation, is that mirror. It's not here to test your knowledge, but to shine a quiet light on the wounds you carry inside, the ones you may not even want to admit are there. If you too carry wounds, are you willing to let go so you can heal? It sounds simple, just a soft question, light as a breeze. But to answer it with your whole heart is no small thing. Maybe, like the soldier in the story, you carry regret, a mistake, a harm you once caused that still clings to you like a shadow. The battlefield may be long gone, but you wake at night with the echoes of what you did, what you wish you could undo. Maybe your wound is loss, someone you loved who is no longer here, or something precious that life took away too soon. You hold on to the memory like a ghost, afraid to forget, but also afraid of how it still hurts when you remember. Or maybe your wound has a quieter name, self-rejection. A hidden belief that you are not enough, not worthy, not lovable. You wear it like an old mask, so familiar that part of you believes it's who you truly are, even though a deeper part knows it isn't. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, it means seeing clearly. Letting go is not the same as pretending it never hurt. It is not forcing yourself to erase the past. Letting go begins when you turn toward the wound with steady eyes, not running away, not covering it with blame, not using it as a weapon against yourself. It means asking, where did this hurt begin? When did it take root? Who handed it to me, and who kept feeding it all these years? And right now, am I still the one keeping it alive by holding on so tightly? When you see deeply, letting go happens naturally. Because you understand, clinging only keeps the pain fresh. Only when you put the burden down do your hands become free to hold yourself with care and compassion. Healing belongs to you, no one else. The soldier in the story could not change the lives he had taken, but he could choose whether to live as a dead man walking, forever chained to guilt, or as someone who honors the past by living with wisdom now. No one can forgive you for you. No one can make you drop your regret or loosen your old story. It must come from inside. Only you can unlock the door to the prison you've built within your own mind. Contemplation, a path back home. So when the question of contemplation appears, don't rush past it. Pause. Close your eyes. Take a long, honest breath. And ask yourself, if I keep holding on to this wound, how will my life look in 1 year, in 10 years? If I dare to let go, what might be possible instead? And what part of me is still afraid to put it down? Listen gently for the answer. It might not arrive today. But the moment you ask, a seed is planted. And when your heart is ready, that seed will break open, and your next step toward healing will come naturally. A tiny drop of courage. A whole new path. Healing doesn't ask you to become someone else. It asks for one drop of courage, to face the wound you've hidden, to wash it with understanding and self-kindness. Like a river that never stops flowing, you will see you are never the same person you once were. You are not frozen in your old pain. So when this question returns, take it seriously. If you too carry wounds, are you willing to let go so you can heal? Your answer will open the very door you've been longing for, the quiet home inside you where the past is gently washed clean by the light of the present. In the beginning, you learn to see, to recognize your wounds, your fears, your old stories. This is already a brave step. But Zen, and any living path of awakening, doesn't stop at seeing. It points us to the next step, practice. Practice is how insight moves from the mind into the marrow of your life. Insight without practice is like sunlight without seeds, warm, but nothing grows. So once you see your old beliefs, your regrets, your hidden shame, the real question becomes, what will you do with this seeing? Will you let it pass like a thought in the wind? Or will you let it become the ground for a new way of being? Contemplating impermanence, each moment is a chance to be reborn. Everything changes, this is not just a concept to recite but a force to trust. If nothing is permanent, then no part of your suffering is permanent either. The regret you carry, the guilt that clings, the belief that, I am unworthy, broken, hopeless, these, too, are impermanent. When you truly remember impermanence, you remember that every breath is a door. You are not chained to who you were a moment ago. Each moment is fresh. Each breath is new. Each thought passes. Each feeling comes and goes like waves on the ocean. So when you feel trapped, whisper to yourself, this moment is a chance to begin again. I can be reborn right now. Mindfulness, watching thoughts without becoming them. You cannot stop thoughts from appearing. The mind thinks, that is its nature. But suffering comes when we believe every thought, when we forget that a thought is just a thought. Mindfulness is the gentle art of noticing. This is what's happening in my mind right now. Not clinging, not pushing away, just seeing it for what it is. Instead of, I am worthless, you notice, a thought of worthlessness is here. Instead of, I am broken, you see, a belief about being broken is passing through my mind. This small shift, from identifying to observing, is life-changing. When you see thoughts for what they are, they lose their power to imprison you. Practice telling yourself, I am having this thought, but I am not this thought. I am aware of this feeling, but I am not this feeling. Again and again, this soft reminder brings you back to your true home, awareness itself. Planting new seeds. Writing a different story. Recognition and mindfulness clear the garden of old weeds. But what will you grow there instead? Zen does not force you to replace every thought with a bright slogan. But it invites you to plant seeds of truth that nourish you, not strangle you. When the old voice says, you can't change, meet it with, I can choose to write a new story. When the old shame whispers, I don't deserve peace, answer with, I am worthy of peace. When you catch yourself sinking back into an old pattern, remind yourself, this moment is impermanent. I can begin again, right now. No one else can plant these seeds for you. They are simple words, but spoken with awareness, they have power. With daily care, a pause here. A mindful breath there, they grow roots. They become the new ground you stand on. A practice for daily life. Keycap 1. Pause. Breathe deeply. Feel this moment fully, the sounds around you. The sensations in your body. This is mindfulness. Keycap 2. Observe. Notice what thought or feeling is here. Name it softly, thinking, remembering, worrying. This is awareness without judgment. Keycap 3. Contemplate. Remember impermanence. This is here now, but it will pass. Let that knowing soften your grip. Keycap 4. Plant. Whisper a new seed, I can begin again. I am worthy of peace. I trust in this moment's freshness. Keycap 5. Repeat. As many times as needed, in the car, at your desk, before sleep, in the middle of a difficult conversation. Little by little, the old walls inside you begin to crack open. Transformation grows in small, gentle steps. This is not magic. It is not overnight. But it is real. The same mind that believed old stories can learn to loosen them. The same heart that clung to regret can learn to open to forgiveness. Impermanence means you are never stuck. Mindfulness means you don't have to become every thought that crosses your mind. Planting seeds means you hold the pen, you can write a kinder chapter, one moment at a time. So when you feel lost, come back to this simple truth. Each moment is a chance to be reborn. I am not my thoughts, I am the one who sees them. I can choose peace. I can choose compassion. I can choose to begin again. This is the heart of real practice, awareness that liberates, kindness that heals, and tiny choices that, over time, become your freedom. At some point in life, often when we were too young to question it, each of us accepted a quiet, hidden belief about who we are. Maybe it was whispered by someone's careless words. Maybe it formed from one painful experience. Maybe it grew slowly over years of repetition. These old beliefs are subtle yet powerful. They hide behind our thoughts, shaping what we think we deserve. How far we let ourselves grow, how deeply we allow ourselves to be seen and loved. They have many names. I'm not good enough. I always fail. I don't belong here. No one really cares about me. I'm too broken to change. Left unseen, they weave through our daily choices like invisible strings, pulling us back into the same small box, again and again. But here is the truth. A belief is not a fact. A belief is just a thought you practiced until it felt real. And what was practiced once can be unlearned, rewritten, when you bring it into the light of awareness. Step 1. Bring it into the light. Take a quiet moment. Close your eyes if it helps. Feel your breath, slow and steady. Ask yourself softly, what is the deepest limiting belief I still carry? You might hear the answer right away, like a clear voice inside, I'm not enough. Or it may come as a feeling, tightness in your chest, an old memory. A phrase you've heard your mind repeat 1,000 times. Don't judge it. Don't push it away. Just see it, like you'd see an old scar on your hand. It is part of your story, but it does not have to be the whole story. Step 2, speak it honestly. Bring the belief into words. Write it down. Or whisper it softly to yourself. I used to believe that. Naming it is powerful. When you name it, you take it out of the shadows and place it in the light. Step 3. Choose a new belief. The mind loves to repeat the old story, it feels familiar, even if it hurts. But you are not that old story. You are the one who sees the story, and the one who can choose something different. Ask yourself, if I could write a kinder belief, what would it be? If I could speak to myself as I'd speak to a dear friend, what would I want to say? Write it down. Whisper it gently. Now, I choose to believe that. This is not lying to yourself. It is planting a new seed. The old belief grew because it was repeated so many times. This new one will grow the same way, with attention, practice, and care. Example. I used to believe that I'm not good enough. Now, I choose to believe that I am learning, growing, and worthy of love exactly as I am. I used to believe that I'm destined to fail. Now, I choose to believe that every mistake is part of my growth, and I can succeed in my own way. I used to believe that no one cares about me. Now, I choose to believe that I am learning to care for myself deeply, and I am open to receiving love. Step 4. Repeat it with presence. A belief rewrites itself slowly. You don't need to shout it, force it, or fake it. You simply need to return to it, softly but consistently. When you notice the old belief rising again, pause. Take a breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Speak your new belief like a friend reminding you. I choose this now. I am not that old thought, I am the one who chooses. You may feel resistance. That's normal. The old belief has lived inside you a long time, it won't leave overnight. But each time you choose the new belief, you water its roots. One day you'll realize the old belief feels weaker, like an old coat that no longer fits. And the new one feels warmer, softer, more like home. You are not your old story. You are not a fixed thing. You are alive. You are change. Your past may shape you, but it does not imprison you. Each breath is a blank page. Each moment is a chance to whisper something kinder, braver, truer. So when you feel small or unworthy, pause and remember. I used to believe that. Now, I choose to believe that. This is the gentle practice of rewriting your story, one breath, one thought. One quiet act of compassion at a time. Sometimes, the mind tries to untangle old beliefs with more thinking, analyzing, debating, judging. But there is another, quieter way: bring the body, breath, and awareness together. This is the heart of meditation, not to fight your thoughts, but to hold them gently, to see them clearly, and to return to what is true in this very breath. When you feel ready, find a quiet space. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Let your spine rest tall but soft, like a tree that is rooted yet flexible. Close your eyes if that feels safe. Let the breath come and go naturally at first, feel it like a wave, in, out, in, out. No need to change it. Just trust that your breath knows what to do. Step 1, breathing in. Recognize the old belief. As you inhale, gently invite to the surface the old belief that still lingers in you. No need to dig or force it, it will come on its own, like a guest you know well. Maybe you hear it as a phrase, I am not enough, or I always fail. Don't judge it or push it away. Just breathe it in with awareness. Breathing in, I see this old belief. Feel how it lives in your body. Maybe it's a tightness in your chest, a heaviness in your belly, a dull ache in your throat. Just notice. You are not the belief, you are the space that sees it. Step 2, breathing out, let it go. As you exhale, imagine the old belief softening its grip. You don't have to force it out. Just breathe out gently. Like opening a window to let stale air drift away. Breathing out, I let this old belief go. It may not disappear all at once, that's okay. The breath does not rush the seasons. Each exhale is an act of trust that even deep patterns can loosen when you meet them with patience. Step 3, breathing in, plant a new belief. On your next inhale, invite a new, kinder truth into the space the old belief once occupied. Feel it like a seed in the soil of your mind and body. Maybe you say softly in your heart. Breathing in, I plant a new belief, I am enough. Just as I am. Or, breathing in, I trust one can grow and change. Feel this new belief settle into your chest, your heart, your belly. Let your breath carry it gently through you. Step 4, breathing out, nurture peace. On the exhale, send this new seed the care it needs to grow. Imagine the breath as warm sunlight, soft rain. Feel a gentle peace spreading through you. Breathing out, I nourish my peace. Stay with this rhythm. Continue as long as you wish, flowing through this gentle cycle. Inhale, recognize the old. Exhale, release its weight. Inhale, welcome the new. Exhale, grow calm and steady inside. You may find thoughts drifting away. Or the old belief may push back, whispering, "This is silly. You can't change." If that happens, smile softly within. Even that voice is just another thought, it, too, will pass. Keep breathing. Keep planting. Keep releasing. A simple mantra to whisper. If it helps, you can repeat a quiet mantra with your breath. In, I see. Out, I release. In, I plant. Out, I rest. Returning to daily life. When you open your eyes and return to your day, remember. The meditation doesn't end. Any moment, washing dishes, sitting in traffic, lying in bed at night, can become a small, living practice. A gentle inhale, I see the old. A soft exhale, I let it go. A new breath, I plant kindness. A quiet release, I grow peace. Again and again. No pressure, no rush. Just the steady, humble work of tending your inner garden. You are not the old story, you are the space that can grow new ones. Your breath has carried you from your first moment in this world, without asking anything from you but your trust. Now, let it carry you toward freedom from your old, tight shell of belief. Let each inhale remind you, you are alive, changing, and capable of rewriting your deepest story. Let each exhale remind you. Peace is not outside you, it is the spaciousness within you, waiting for you to come home. So breathe, dear one. Breathe the old belief in, see it clearly. Breathe it out, release it lightly. Breathe the new belief in, plant it like a seed. Breathe out, nurture your peace. Over and over, until the old fades like a dream at dawn. And your breath flows freely through a mind and heart made new. Take a moment to settle in. Find a posture that feels both steady and soft. You can sit cross-legged on the floor, on a cushion, or in a chair with your feet grounded. Let your hands rest gently on your lap or over your heart if that feels comforting. If it feels safe, allow your eyes to close. If not, soften your gaze toward the floor. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw relax. Feel the weight of your body supported by the earth beneath you. You don't need to hold anything up alone right now. Coming home to the breath. Begin to notice your breath. Don't change it, just feel it. Feel the cool air enter your nose or mouth, travel down to your lungs, and gently leave your body. Feel your chest and belly rise and fall, the simple miracle of this moment. A soft invitation to release. In your mind, hear these words, spoken as if they come from the deepest, most loving part of you. Each breath is a step away from the past. I am not defined by my old stories. I am the freedom blooming into life, right here, right now. With every inhale, imagine fresh air filling you with light, dissolving old burdens, softening old walls. With every exhale, imagine letting go, like dry leaves drifting from your hands into a flowing river. Nothing forced, nothing rushed. Just the gentle trust that you are allowed to outgrow what once held you. Slowly, silently, affirm. As you sit here, let these quiet affirmations rise and fall with your breath. You can say them aloud in a whisper, or repeat them silently in your heart. There is no hurry, let each phrase settle into you like warm sunlight on your skin. Inhale, I deserve peace. Feel those words inside your chest, like a soft vow to your own heart. Exhale, releasing anything that says otherwise. Inhale, I am being reborn in every moment. Feel the freshness of this breath, like the first bloom of spring after a long winter. Exhale, letting the past drop away like old petals. Inhale, I am whole. I am enough. I am returning home to myself. Feel how the words echo in every cell, not demanding perfection, but honoring your truest nature. Exhale, resting in the quiet spaciousness that remains. Trust the silence. If your mind wanders, that's okay, it's part of being human. When you notice it, gently return to your breath. Return to the quiet truth in these words. No fight, no blame. Just coming home. A soft closing. Stay here for as long as you wish, breathing slowly. Letting these truths wash through you. Whenever you're ready, bring your attention back to the feeling of your body, your feet on the floor, your hands resting. Maybe wiggle your fingers or toes. Take one final deep breath, in through the nose, filling up completely, and out through the mouth, releasing fully. If your eyes are closed, slowly open them. Letting the light of this moment greet you anew. Carry it with you. Remember, this practice doesn't end when you stand up. Every breath you take in the midst of your day is an invitation. Come back. Begin again. You are not your past. You are not your fear. You are the space that holds it all, the freedom blooming open, one gentle breath at a time. I deserve peace. I am being reborn in every moment. I am whole. I am home within myself. May these words find a quiet place inside you, and may they blossom there, again and again. Now, as your practice comes to a gentle close, let this moment remind you, the seeds you have planted here, seeds of peace, seeds of freedom, seeds of self-kindness, they are alive. They do not disappear when you open your eyes or stand up from this cushion. They travel with you, quietly woven into each breath you take and each choice you make from this moment forward. You have looked into places within you that may have been hidden for years, old beliefs, old hurts, old stories that once felt too heavy to touch. And yet, here you are, breathing, softening. Choosing to let them be seen in the light of your awareness. That is not small work. That is the work of compassion. Compassion is not something far away, not only for monks in mountain monasteries or saints in distant lands. Compassion lives here, in you, in this ordinary breath. It is the soft warmth in your chest when you whisper, I deserve peace. It is the gentle courage in your spine when you say, I can choose a new story. So before you return to your day, your tasks, your loved ones, pause here in this field of kindness you have tended. Feel your chest rise and fall, feel your heart still open, softer than when you began. Let this softness remind you. You are not here to become perfect. You are here to be real, to be awake, to love yourself enough to keep walking forward, again and again. A wish for you, spoken softly. May the peace you touch tonight stay quietly in your heart. May you carry it like a small, hidden lantern into the busy streets of tomorrow. When old fears knock, may you remember you can open the door with kindness, not fight. When old stories whisper, may you answer with the freedom you found in this breath. When you forget, as we all do, may you remember that remembering is enough. Each moment is a chance to return. A blessing to take with you. May you trust that your true nature is bigger than any wound. May you know you are worthy of rest, healing, and forgiveness, again and again. May you wake tomorrow with a new story blooming in your chest. A story of freedom, of gentle courage, of compassion that begins with you and flows outward to touch the world. A final whisper. Asterisk, let this peace stay in your heart. Tomorrow, you will wake with a new story, one that breathes freedom, love, and wisdom. Carry these words like a soft promise to yourself. Let them guide you back whenever you feel lost. And when you doubt, when the world feels heavy again, simply return to this breath, and remember. Peace is not something you have to find. Peace is something you come home to, again and again. May you be well. May you be peaceful. May you remember who you truly are. And may the quiet light within you touch everyone you meet, gently, bravely, and with endless compassion.